In the weeks since Doomfist release, I've seen some clips floating around with what I would call some questionable deaths to the hand of the rocket punch ability from Doomfist. Now initially I chalked some of this up to latency problems, discrepancies either from the person getting hit by Doomfist himself, and their connection between the server. But as more and more popped up, it seemed more likely that there was something going on with Doomfist ability itself, and that possibly it had a fairly large hitbox. And in doing some testing, what I found is it doesn't just have a large hitbox, it has a massive hitbox. We're talking over twice Doomfist height and 3 times his width. Basically, if Doomfist is charging at you and you're anywhere between this, you'll get hit. So let's go ahead and go through everything I found. I began by wanting to test out the width, essentially seeing how far away you could aim from a target and still land a hit. Turns out it's pretty far. You'll notice here that you could fit at least one entire Reaper between him and where I'm actually aiming my shot, and yet the hit still lands. Same goes for the other side, whether you're aiming to the left or the right, any of the characters with frames about Reaper's width and smaller, you'll hit even if you're a full body's length away. This becomes even more obvious when viewed from the top-down perspective. Here you can see that if we were to continue Doomfist's path, he would completely miss Tracer, his actual body itself, but the ability with a much larger hitbox to either side still connects and kills Tracer. So after I tested the sides and realized there was quite a bit of give, I decided why not test the height, see if I could hit anyone above or below me. So we began by standing above the enemy, charging the fist and jumping, and then releasing. And you'll notice here in this clip, even though I can't even see Reaper, the punch still connects. And when we look at this from the side, you can see that he's actually about a full body length of Doomfist size above the enemy, and yet the hit still lands. Same goes for if you're below the enemy. If they're about a body length above you, but you're close enough, you're still going to land your hit, knock them back, and potentially kill them. Now, what really caught my attention, though, when testing the hitbox wasn't the give on either side, or wasn't the leniency above and below, it was the space between. Looking back at that top-down perspective of our engagement with Tracer, you can see how far away Doomfist is when the hit connects. He's a significant distance away, his fist not actually touching the target when the ability still hits. And what ends up happening because of this, because of the big give on either side, the larger give above and below, and then the width of the hitbox of Rocket Punch, this is what has caused some of these odd situations, like characters getting hit through car windows, or inside of a doorway, or even through this telephone booth. In fact, looking here, you can see that Doomfist isn't really anywhere near this Junkrat. Not only is he above it, but he's hitting the wall on the other side of the doorway, a good meter or 2 away. It still connects and kills Junkrat. Now, we know it's the case that with projectile attacks like Hanzo's arrows, for example, they give a bit of sway. So obviously an ability that turns Doomfist himself into a projectile, and one that you have to charge on top of that, it's not surprising that they're giving a bunch of leeway. The question then becomes, though, is it too much right now? Again, we're talking about twice his height and about 3 times the width of Doomfist. The character itself is roughly the size of the hitbox of his Rocket Punch. Add on top of that there's quite a bit of depth, making it so that Doomfist will hit targets that he doesn't actually technically physically come into contact with. So yeah, there's been some strange things happening with Doomfist Rocket Punch, and the answer is not that it's buggy per se, but just that Blizzard has given it a massive hitbox, height, width, and depth. And frankly, it wouldn't surprise me if they have to do some further tweaking to this as we go forward, especially now that we know you can get hit by something that is much larger than the visual representation of the ability. All right, everybody, that is going to do it for me here today. As always, I want to thank you all so much for watching. Hope you enjoyed this video. Hope you have a good one. Until next time, I'll see you later.